Welcome, my dear friend. Welcome to Touching the Edge. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Drake, and I'm so happy to see you today. I'm happy to see you because I'm interested in calming the inner fire. Calming that situation where we find something that's in the moment, right now, that is not going the way that you would like it to go. Balancing that relationship to calming that situation in a way that makes a difference for ourselves, but also makes a difference to the world. It's kind of like carrying 50 pounds in one arm. Say you have two bags and you have those two bags in one arm and you're carrying it. It's 50 pounds. It's too much weight for you. But if you redistribute the weight, if you bring, one bag in each hand, all of a sudden you're more balanced, and all of a sudden you find that you can carry that weight. And so to me, this is what we are describing in balancing the inner and the outer world. And so in that balance in the inner and outer world, we calm the inner space. We get out of the job of really disliking where we're at. We find this radical acceptance, this surrender of where we're at. And in this surrender, we find a way to balance it in a way that gives us an opportunity to not give up. Excuse me. So balancing the inner and outer world is adaptation. It's finding practices that make a difference and seizing your day with those practices. And so I suggest really writing a list of practices. We always talk about writing a list of 10 state changers. We want to have that list up. We want to have something we can access when we're having a difficult time. But even more than that, creating a great recipe book and cutting out all these individual practices and putting them in a bowl and mixing them up and picking one of those practices out and doing that practice right then. That's what we call a non-linear de-escalation. You're calming yourself because you don't know what's coming. And so when you come into a practice like that, not knowing what's coming, it's a surprise, and it helps that practice to soak in more deeply. So let's do a simple one right now. One of the things I really want to suggest is getting good at simple practices that you can actually be someone who actually radiates a calm into your environment, but also has resources for people in your environment. And one of those practices, it's so simple, is called the 4-6 breath. Let's do it together. And so what I'm suggesting, and I often say this, focus in fours. Do 4 breaths. And you can always do more than that, but just intend to do 4 breaths. So let's do this right now. Let's do the 4-6 breaths. So I'm going to breathing in for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 6. Breathing through the nose. Tongue is in contact with the roof of the mouth, all the way out for a count of 6. Inhale 4. Exhale 6. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 4. Exhale 6. Now let it go. Take a deep breath. Easy ah. And just take a moment. Now, anytime you do a practice, even a micro practice like that, take a moment after and get a feel. How did that make you feel? What's the subtlety of the shift? And so what I want to suggest is when you did that practice, you felt a little bit calmer. And this is what we're talking about in calming the inner fire. So we want to balance the inner and the outer world. Right when you feel that element that feels like an inflammation, some disturbing, news that you hear, do something that shifts that weight of intention. Don't get so focused externally that you can't balance the weight. Do something like a practice like that, the 4-6 breath. Breathe in 4 times and notice that just that makes a difference. This is easy, not hard to do. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. So here we go. Smile today. Laugh today. If something special is coming for you today, you are the sovereign of your own life. Step into that power. I bring my hands together and I bow to you, my friend. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste.